Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend,
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to you boys.
Absolutely, because if it's not interesting to us, it shouldn't matter to you.
We are the barometer.
I'm just saying, if you're watching this show, you must be, for some reason, you find us entertaining. If nothing else. If it's interesting to us, we'll tell you about it. If it's not, then you don't need to worry about it.
Absolutely.
And James, as always, this is a live and interactive broadcast. What does that mean
right.
exactly?
That means we are live. It is currently 8:33 on the West Coast, the best coast. Anyways, and then that means we also have comments. So wherever you're watching this, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching us, you throw your comments in there. We bring them up, and we'll answer your questions and whatnot.
Absolutely. You can find us on your favorite platform. And if you're listening to this after the fact via podcast platform, you can still hit us up on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all of those fun different places. Send us messages, send us some love. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Hey, because we'll talk about it.
Probably, if it's interesting.
Exactly.
So, James, we're here again on a lovely Saturday night due to your scheduling and availability.
Yo, man. I didn't make the schedule.
No, it's okay. It is what it is. I'm just glad we're still here. So just a kind of a funny story to share with everyone. So yesterday, your boy James hit me up and was asking, "Hey, are we doing a show tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, been planning it. Why?" And he's like, "Well, I got a dinner planned for tomorrow. So what time?" And I'm like, we've had this show planned for a little while now, so we're
totally forgot.
When did these dinner plans get set? So I guilt tripped James into doing the show because we want to make sure we bring you fresh content.
Yeah,
and there is some fresh stuff for us to talk about today.
Yeah.
So before we dive into that, though, I wanted to give you the choice. So I've got some hard seltzers here. The Kirkland signature variety.
I've been looking at those. You tell me how they are.
I've had them. They're very good. The only one I don't like is grapefruit, and that's because I'm not a big fan of grapefruit.
Yeah.
So the three that I have is mango, lime, and black cherry.
Mango.
Mango?
Has to be. Yeah.
Right.
Mango. Like I'm on a big like everything mango right now. I'm digging right now.
Okay, let's dive on into a mango, shall we?
Yeah. Like I had a mango cart beer last night. That was good. Refreshing, huh?
It's refreshing. It's light. It was 100 degrees up here in northern Nevada today.
Oh, wow. It was 107 down here.
Okay, I mean, good for you. You're in the lowland desert. I'm in the high desert, so we're not used to those highs. But yeah, have you seen at Costco? They sell these things, what they call splash pads.
No.
It's basically a big circle that has like a wall around it that you fill up with water, and then it's like a sprinkler. Water just shoots out of this water wall into a pad.
Okay.
And then the pad fills up with water a little bit, so you can like splash around. But it doesn't get very deep. It's like maybe 3 inches when it's filled.
Okay.
So I picked one up because I figured on days where the pool at my neighborhood is gross, I figured, I'll throw that thing in.
You mean there's too many people over there?
Yes. Yeah. I figured, I'll throw this thing out, fill it up, and, can go out there, put my toesies in, let the kid run around and play. So we broke that out today and used it, and it came in handy. Yeah.
Was the pool gross?
The interesting thing was I never actually ended up looking over there. I filled it up in the morning just as a precautionary, and
backyard.
The kid wanted to play.
Where it's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the kid wanted to play, so it was like, all right, let's just do this. And I was good with that.
Hey, that works.
And I do see that we've got quite a few people watching right now live around the world. So please, if you're out there,
All around the world, the same song.
yeah, use those chat features. Talk to us. Let us know how you're doing. How
I
was
don't
your
see I don't see that anymore. I don't see the number of people watching anymore
Oh,
like we used to.
I have the ability to see that. So
Yeah.
the millions. So we do have quite a few people watching. They're
The
not
hundreds.
commenting, but that's okay. Um, so it's Labor Day weekend. It's a 3-day weekend.
Bam, bam, bam.
I mean, except for you, I guess, because you've got to work on Monday.
Yeah, well,
That sucks. So how does that work for you? So you're training, correct, still
yes.
on Monday, but you do have to still go into work. So is that like double time and a half?
Uh I'm not really sure how this whole thing's working. All I know is like so because the class is at night, we are getting the night diff pay, which is
Okay.
nice.
So you do get holiday pay, right? So you're getting paid for Monday regardless,
Yeah,
even if you didn't work.
right.
And then because you're working, you're also getting paid, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what, you're getting at least double time. But I know a lot of government workers, if you work on a holiday, you get paid time and a half.
Uh I'm not sure. Honestly, to tell you
Okay.
the truth, I'm just
I
like,
mean, at the very least, you're getting double time. So that's pretty good money, right?
yeah, I'll take it.
So how is training going? You're a week in, right?
Yeah, man, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, there's a we got a lot coming at us. It's a lot. But it's also weird because like we're learning, like I said, we're learning the right way to do stuff. But then we'll go to the airports and some stuff becomes airport specific. So
Naturally. I mean, you would think that 90% of the content is utilized on the regular, and then there's probably that 10% of differential based on
yeah,
locale.
but yeah, exactly. So I mean, like everything it's coming in hot, it's coming in fast. We've actually a couple of things that I I knew about, but I didn't know about. Like we've watched videos on the 9/11 memorial in New York. I didn't
Mhm,
realize they had a museum.
mhm.
Uh, yeah, I knew about I knew about the fountain. I knew about the memory fountain thing, waterfalls and stuff. But I did not know about the museum itself, which was
Mhm.
actually if I want to go to New York and check it out because I mean, just based on these videos that we saw, there's it's a lot of special stuff at this building. They have um, not only the names of all the flights of the people that we unfortunately lost on 9/11, but it also has from the shoot, what year is that? The bomb that went off in the parking garage in the 80s. I think it was,
I think it was 90s. I think it was like
or 90s.
yeah.
Whenever it was, they also have those people on that wall too, on the memorial as well, which is really cool. And then in the museum, uh, they have they basically
1993.
oh, was it 93?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember when exactly. I remember I knew it was, but basically, yeah, they have those people on there as well. They have the people who are on the flight. They have each of the flights, each of the towers basically separated,
Mhm.
and so that was really interesting seeing that. They have they call the survivors tree, which is the only tree, which was a tree that was in the plaza in the middle, and they actually found it under the rubble when they were digging everything out, and so they actually uprooted it, moved it to a nursery in Brooklyn, and then they brought it back and replanted it. So it's the last remaining tree that was there, and
Wow.
so yeah, it's really interesting because that tree survived all the hurricanes that came through. You know, um, it survived a bunch of different, a bunch of crazy stuff. So that's like a special treat that they have there. In the museum itself, they have a piece of the radio tower that was on the North Tower, I believe it was. They also have a fire engine that was parked out there, Ladder 3, which is one of the oldest uh, firehouses in New York. But yeah, they have that fire truck inside, and I mean, still has the piece of metal that fell on it when the tower fell. So, I mean, unfortunately, I think they lost the most firefighters on that day. But it's really special that they have this truck there. They have the helmet of the captain, that he wasn't wearing that day, but his family gave to the museum as a memento, not momentum, but memento of his service. And there's just a lot of stuff in that museum that I really want to. I like. If I get the chance to check it out, I definitely got to go check that out.
Well, since you're being spoilery a little bit, we are in talks with Carnegie Hall to do a Fat and Black out there. So,
Wow. If that, I would jump at that chance, like, do a live broadcast at Carnegie Hall. That would be killer.
yes, 97 to now is really, in trying to make that kind of stuff happen for us. So,
Yo.
they're
Yeah. No, hey, I'm not gonna lie. If that opportunity ever came, I'd be about it.
yeah. So, I love. I've spent some time in New York, for jobs I've had in the past, and I got to see, Ground Zero, if you will, before the memorials were finished and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It, it's something. Um,
Oh, actually, I almost forgot. They actually added a place. They added a new piece into the park for all the people that came down to help out and with the recovery. But now, because they were something toxic was some fumes or something, and so a lot of these people now have cancers and breathing problems and lung diseases and all this kind of stuff that unfortunately is uncurable. They don't have the names in the park, in this little piece of the park, but it was made specifically for those people who unfortunately we're starting to lose now. I know they did something. I think it was John Stewart was helping to get these guys money as well to take care of them, because they were down there and helping out and got sick. So that was something they added to the park with the original designer of the memorial and the museum. So it was really cool to see that they actually, were showing love to those people as well.
yeah, absolutely. And I guess kind of talking about the opposite of those that give that, final measure or greatest measure. Let's talk about the city of Las Vegas, which is where you're currently residing and calling home.
Yeah.
Article released this last week found Vegas to be the number four,
Yeah.
rudest city in the United States of America.
Listen, honestly, I looked at that list, and so I what they said number one was
Philly,
Philly. Yeah. And then number two, and then it was like New
Memphis.
York, Memphis and New York, which is actually funny because my grandmother lives in Memphis, and Grandma Lewis she's a saint.
New York and Philly make a lot of sense.
New
to me.
York and Philly definitely makes sense, but like New York for me, that's like, I hear too many comedians talk about New York where I don't know if that's actually, I think that's people thinking it's rude, but that's them being polite, basically. That's them being nice to you. But hey, I'll take number four. It is what it is. We got a lot of tourists. We got a lot of, I think it probably has to do with the tourist, and it said something about personal space and stuff like that. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Las Vegas way that high.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never, found Vegas to be terribly rude. I mean, there are obviously people that,
Yeah.
as you're walking down the strip, you might come across some jerks,
Oh
but
yeah.
uh, those likely aren't residents. And so,
No, no, the jerks mostly are from out of town. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course we got jerks
and
that are
you,
here. I'm not a jerk. I'm a nice guy
is that what you tell the ladies?
all day.
Well, just another feather in the cap of Las Vegas that you can be proud of as a resident there.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4. Number 4.
Yeah, you guys can't even be number 1 in something, I guess, huh?
Yo, listen, on that list, I kind of don't want to be number 1.
I don't know. Go for the gusto, man. Go big or go home. Isn't that the theme of Vegas? Go big or go home. I mean,
No, well, I guess it's like it can only happen here now. I think that's what they changed it to.
it
It can
can only happen here.
it can only happen here. Apparently, I think that's one of the that's the new motto. Because I mean, it used to be, what
If it
happens here
happens,
stays here.
yeah,
Um, and then I think they changed it to it can only happen here or something like that. Or now we're like apparently like the biggest arena. I know. I think one of the newer ones is like we're the biggest arena in the world where you can come for a game on. You can come for the weekend, stay for a game, and you can see all this stuff in one weekend type deal. So
yeah. I guess from that perspective, there is a ton to do in Vegas that is, eclectic.
right.
You can see a football game. You can see a minor league baseball game. You can see a ladies basketball game. You can
You
see
can see all the Cirque
see a
shows in the
boxing
world.
match.
You can see like every Cirque show they've ever made.
Yeah, you can drink, you can gamble,
And
you
then,
can even head to the outskirts of Vegas and find a good old bunny ranch or something.
well, I actually got a chance to check out Area 15 last night, which is it's like this complex that they have out here. I mean, it's all sort of weird. I mean, it's like an eclectic spot. So I wasn't able to stay long. I was meeting some people over there, and then they were leaving not too long after. But no, I definitely want to go back over there, check that spot out. It's pretty cool. Like they have a lot. They have a number of different things going on. They have bars. They have bars inside. They had live music. They have this place called Dueling Axes, which is an axe throwing spot. So yeah, they have this place called the Illuminarium. I didn't get to check that out. That's something I want to see. But yeah, no, it's an interesting little spot they got over there.
I've never heard of it. I'm currently looking at their website to kind of see what it is. And yes, I get what you mean by it being eclectic, like hodgepodge of.
Yeah, they have this thing called Omega Mart in there. They have a bunch of different little things. They have a bunch of little things inside. It's like a weird shopping mall almost. They
I was
have
gonna
like
say it looks like as if Burning Man indoors had money.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly. I saw this vehicle that they had outside last night, and I was like, "Yo, that looks like something that would be at Burning Man." But
Well, and that's going on right now, of course. So
yes, his Labor Day weekend. Yeah,
yes,
so
we've had the burners coming through town up here.
all day. That's and they'll come down. They'll come down in a couple days with their
Dusty,
cars
dirty
covered in
cars.
dust
That
from
that playa dust
that playa dust.
stuff does not come out easily.
No, it's like that'll clog a drain.
Yes. So let's switch gears from Area 15 and Vegas, and let's talk about something near and dear to you and I, of course, and that is a love we have for a particular company, and that's Disney, celebrating 100 years. Now that's of course since the creation of the
Oh, okay,
Walt Disney Company, if you will.
right, okay,
Um, so D23, this image was released by Disney themselves. I love it.
yes.
There's so much going on, and as a Disney nerd, like there's so much here to geek out on.
Hey,
And
there's the only thing I'm having. What is? Oh, is that supposed to be Indiana Jones in the gate on the bottom? I'm looking at we're both looking at the same picture. So on the bottom right.
yeah, that's Indiana Jones hanging on
Okay,
his
because
whip, likely.
I was like I wasn't sure what that was, but yeah, okay. No, I like the mixture. I like the mixture of here of the parks, some of the characters. You got a little bit of Pixar and a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of Marvel in there. A little bit of, you got the donut for the Simpsons up there in the corner. So it's really cool that they got pretty much everything in there. Even Epcot acting like the what's that thing called? The
moon behind Maleficent?
Yeah, that's the thing at Epcot. What's that thing called? The
Spaceship Earth?
Yeah, Spaceship Earth. They got that as the moon. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm digging it.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact count. It's like 48 or 58 unique items. And yeah, I mean, I love that you got the submarine ride and the Nautilus. I think they probably could have given a little bit more love to the parks. There's obviously Haunted Mansion reference, but there's not a ton. I absolutely love the fact that Oswald is in this image.
Yeah, that's cool. I was like, yo, the Lucky Rabbit. Actually, I've been trying to find. I was only able to find like one cartoon on YouTube, and it was, it's a silent one. But it was a pretty cute cartoon. I was like, oh man, I wish I could have seen some of these. I hope Disney Plus, Disney has them. So just give me a collection of Oswald out there. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, give us a little drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this image. I think it's great. I think it's well thought out. I think it's hard. You're never gonna put everything in, right? The only one that I'm not sure on is if you're looking at the image near the top left, just south of Captain's shield, is that Gonzo?
Hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
We've got your boy Tyrus checking in.
Hey,
and I can zoom in on where I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
If that helps.
It does.
Let me do this. I'm talking about this.
Oh yeah, no, that is a great Gonzo.
Yeah, that's what I thought, which I think that's the only reference to the Muppets.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because,
they've had the Muppets for quite some time right now.
Well, yeah, and Gonzo isn't even, he's one of the main ones, but he's not Kermit, he's not Miss Piggy,
I think it's because he had that I think he's the only one that had that suit. And that's actually one's from is that Muppets Take Manhattan? No, that's Muppets Take Manhattan, actually, which actually isn't even on Disney Plus, from what I understand. I think it's the only one that's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so great image, love it. Got our boy Tyrus checking in. Thank you.
Hey guys.
So yeah, huge Disney fans here. We can't get enough. We're gonna look to plan another Disney outing in the very near future, and
hope more people join us.
Yes, I mean, speaking of outings, obviously in just a couple of days is the rib cook-off. Best of the West. Got our VIP table for tomorrow night, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. All you can eat, all you can drink. It's gonna be a yummy time, let me tell you.
I'm saddened right now, man.
Hey, we got the table with the intent of you being there. So
yeah. No, and trust me, I didn't plan on even being in training at this point in time. I planned on being out of training.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to send me the money to cover your portion, but that's okay. We'll get there. And let's talk about, so obviously that's coming up. We've got our cruise coming up in just a few months, going to Alaska. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And we're gonna look to plan probably another maybe Disney trip late next year. So keep your ears to the ground on that one.
To the ground.
Ears to the ground, bro. So you can hear the train when it's coming. That fat and black train's rolling through.
Choo, choo. Okay.
Toot, toot. Come on, ride it. Toot, toot.
Whoa. Throwback. Come on, ride this train.
Careful, we can't do more than a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wanna.
No copyright problems here.
Exactly. Let's throw out a huge congratulations to the What If series over on Disney Plus and specifically Chadwick Boseman posthumously
Yo,
receiving an Emmy Award.
man,
Outstanding character voiceover performance.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
mean, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his family. I'm happy that he got the nod and that he also got the award. But I also, no offense, but I don't get it.
Hey, man. I listen. I don't know who else was in that category, but hey, I liked it. I mean, I really, actually, I enjoyed that episode, which is kind of cool seeing him, as Star Lord and like
I'm just saying there were a
basically
lot of
healing everything.
there were a
Hey,
lot of voice actors in that series specific that
hey, man, hey. I think they might have, because they can kind of choose who gets the nod in certain cases. As far
I
as
mean the company pushes forward who
yeah,
they'd like to see nominated. So
so I mean, I think eh, you know I miss Mr. Boseman out here, and so I hey, sh- show him some love. It's all good.
yeah, like I said, I'm not hating. I'm happy to see it. I think What If definitely is a great animated series, well
Actually, you know
deserving
what?
of
Actually,
awards.
the one that I'm surprised. Well, not really surprised that I hope she got the nod at least as the one Captain Britain or whatever.
Haley Atwell.
Yeah, yeah. I hope she at least got a nod because she was brilliant.
I think she's great in just about everything she does. I wish they could figure out a way to utilize her more. Unfortunately,
They kind of killed her. I mean, not well. They could do some stuff in the past still. I wish that Agent Carter show. I think Agent Carter was before its time. I don't think they were ready for Agent Carter yet. Like if they did something now with Agent Carter, like on Disney Plus, I think it would kill.
I don't disagree at all.
I think it would
And
absolutely kill right now. But unfortunately, that was one of those ABC shows that just kind of went off the tracks a little bit. But
Tyrus does say that he's down for Disney next year. So.
mm,
And speaking of Tyrus, one of Tyrus's favorite game series of all time is
God of War.
God of War, indeed. And
Did they
you
just?
know,
I know they just released their new stuff, didn't they?
they got Ragnarok coming.
Yeah.
I unfortunately I won't be playing it due to the fact that I no longer have a PlayStation. So
What? What happened,
yes,
bro?
I upgraded. I now have an Xbox Series X.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
Yeah, well, and I had to. I had to upgrade. I needed to get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X just because, pretty much every game coming out moving forward is built for those systems.
right. Well, the nice thing is that at least right now, with PS4, when you buy a PS4 game on, either online on the from their store or you buy a disc, a lot of them you can they will upgrade it to PS5 for you. So,
Yeah, and they're doing the same thing on Xbox. The majority of the games that you get on Xbox One work for X
oh,
and
okay.
S. But I was like, okay, which one do I want to do? They're both right now going for $5.99.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, let's see what Costco's got going on. PlayStations are crazy hard to get. They still
Yeah.
are. For whatever reason, the supply is just bad. So on Costco.com, I was able to get a Xbox One Series X with an extra controller for $5.99.
Oh,
$5.95 actually with tax and everything. So it was it was a great deal. In
can't blame you for
turn,
that.
my wife made me, offload everything else. Don't worry, Tyrus. I still have your God of War to get back to you. I didn't make that disappear. But I did finish the God of War. I played through the whole game as Tyrus requested, and it was fun. It was a little bit too linear of a storyline. There were certain things you just couldn't do.
Oh man.
I don't know. It was open world, but it didn't feel totally open world. And then we have my wife checking in, who's saying that she didn't make me do anything. Okay, sure. Let's
go with
go
that.
with that. Um,
Oh
and
man.
I know, right? She never watches the show, and the one time that I call her out on something she's done.
Boom.
Um, and of course, here comes Terrace. Mark, it was good, and I can fill you in on stuff that you missed. I didn't miss anything. I played the whole game. I beat the whole game,
I
and
got it, bro.
I said
I
it
got
was
it.
good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a piece of garbage. It wasn't. Uh, it was not the worst game I've ever played. It was good. I'll give it its fair due, but it was not the best game I've ever played, and it definitely has no potentiality of taking over as my favorite game series, which just had a huge announcement due to leaks.
Yeah,
Actually,
come on, man. Plug them up.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming, and this next week we've got Ubisoft Forward, where they're going to be announcing obviously deets about this new game. They're going to be talking about they've got an Avatar game coming out.
I'm I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so it's I'm excited to get back into the world of Assassin's Creed, especially if the rumors are true of when this game is going to take place, which they're saying it's going to take place just before Ragnarok or Valhalla. Sorry,
Valhalla.
it's going to take place just before Valhalla in Baghdad. So we're going back to the Middle East, which we've been to before in past Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah. Where was that one? That was
Assassin's Creed 1,
is
the
it? Oh yeah,
original.
but then they also had but where was
Cherry or Light?
Brotherhood? No, was it Brother? No, was it Brotherhood or Cherry? Actually, no, do Lime. Save Cherry for last.
Revelations took place in Constantinople.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, which
Istanbul,
is
not
basically Turk,
Constantinople.
which is kind of Middle East, but more
Yeah.
Europe. So moving on to number 2, Hard Seltzer Lime, Kirkland signature.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm excited. And I would never. I actually, and the crazy part was, I probably not ever got any of these games unless I lived with you for that time.
Yeah, and you would concur this is probably one of the best video game series of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the old
I think it's
thing,
like the most games, right? It's one of the series that has the most games in it.
yeah. I mean, aside from your Mario's and Sonics and stuff like that.
But those aren't like those aren't kind of a complete story though. You know what I'm saying? Like these stories, yes, they might be out of order, but they all kind of connect in some way.
Yeah, there is an overarching story, of course.
Yeah.
But yes,
Hey, is this one just gonna be a straight up male storyline, or is this gonna have like is this gonna have a female version too?
so from what I have gleaned thus far, it does seem that this is going to be a protagonist that we've been introduced to in Valhalla.
Basim?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it likely it sounds like it's probably going to revolve around Bassam and his time of coming into the Brotherhood and becoming an assassin.
Nice.
Yeah, so
he's a character that I mean, like I don't get to play with, so he seems like he was pretty bad.
yeah, I like the idea of that. The one thing I will say about this image though is the person in this image looks modern. It makes me wonder, are we going to get a new main timeline, prime timeline protagonist? Is Layla going away? Because this person doesn't.
Wait.
If you look at the facial hair in the image and stuff, they look like they're out of time, so to speak.
Well, so let's see what we have. We had Desmond for like the first 4 games.
I mean, 5, yeah.
5, yeah, whatever. And then it was like the unknown person in the in the building, whatever.
Yeah, it's basically you
Yeah.
as the player.
And then you had in what was the one the not Black Flag, but the one after that, the Hunter one.
The Hunter one.
The Assassin Hunter.
Oh, I mean, that was the same concept, right? You're working at the company playing.
Yeah, but you get pulled into the Templars. So basically, it's just an opposite. Yeah, it's just the opposite.
And that's kind of how it was all the way until you get introduced to Layla with Assassin's Creed
in Origins. Yeah. So, and she's had at this point 3 games.
Yep.
So,
I'm just saying the facial hair on the person in this image does not seem to be time period appropriate for late 800s Baghdad.
I mean, I don't know what the facial hair looked like for then, but if they use rewind. It also depends on the model that they used, because they might have. I don't know. They might, but like they do their research on this stuff. They're not just going to throw somebody in there. They're not going to just have a picture of somebody that doesn't fit the time,
unless this person is in the prime timeline. I'm just saying this just something I'm might be spoilery that I'm just guessing based on what I'm seeing. Could be completely off base. And Tyrus wants to know if I killed the Valkyrie Queen in God of War, and yes, I did. And it didn't take me 3 hours like it took you, Tyrus. Yes, that's the one thing I would say is I felt like going back to talking about God of War for a moment, just to satiate Tyrus. I didn't feel like the game was. It felt like it was either way too difficult or way too easy. It didn't feel like there was a whole lot of thought and planning that had to go into anything. So that, to me,
they do a lot of planning for those things, but
I don't know. It was very hack and slash. Just go through and
but that's kind of what the whole series has been, bro.
I guess I don't know. This is the first one I ever played, so I can't really speak to it. So, anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about other interesting things before Tyrus tries to defend his game.
We're not bringing him in this week.
No, especially not to talk about God of War. I think nobody got time for that. He's got his own podcast. He's welcome to do a show where he defends that if that's what he really wants to do.
You can use that clip. You can use that clip talking about it and then defend.
Yeah, we'll give you the rights to go ahead and pull some content from our show to go ahead and debate us posthumously or whatever. So, as you know, we here at Fat and Black Connection, we work closely now with a production house called 97 to Now, and
97 to Now.
And they're they're a great group of people. They've gotten very involved with a lot of the stuff that we are involved with as well. Such as Murphy's Inc., which is a fantastic show that is coming in the man.
Oh, bro!
I gotta stop.
Where's the logo?
I gotta stop invoking names, huh?
Yeah.
So, Murphy's Inc. is a soon-to-be-coming podcast, audio drama, science fiction, mystery, time travel.
You want it, we got it.
Yeah, it's such a fun show. 6-episode series to start, and it's going to be great. But ultimately, 97 to Now has also been working on a series of short stories, which you're involved with as a director, and that sounds like that's going well and a lot of fun there. But then
got some work to do.
Additionally, 97 to Now has now signed on to be a producer for another new show.
Boom.
And we teased this a little bit
last week.
And now we can finally really talk about it because the information dropped. We dropped it on our page.
Oh.
But ultimately, there's a new show coming out that 97 to Now is involved with.
Radio Story Hour.
Yes, and Radio Story Hour. It's an interesting concept. So, for those of you that don't know,
Old
there was
timey
a
radio shows.
yeah, the old timey radio show. So there was a show that recently kind of has wrapped its principal show, if you will, called Secrets of Harridge House, that we were also both involved with, um,
Yep.
and it's kind of come to a conclusion. And the creative team over at Secrets of Harridge House, which is primarily KNBC Radio out of Carson City, Nevada, and Diaz Media Group, they they
Diaz Media Group.
they produced Secrets of Harridge House and from pretty much the beginning, and they in conversations and stuff, you know, they really like old time radio. And honestly, personally, I do too. When I was growing up, my dad used to have all of those like old time radio cassettes with, Fibber McGee and Molly, Great Gildersleeve, um, you know, Lone Ranger, Abbott and Costello. I mean, it goes on.
I was listening to some of that stuff. They had a station. Oh, I don't know. I haven't found it again, but there's a station on Sirius XM that has old time radio shows, and even old time like the talk shows, like how we now today we have like Tonight Show and those kind of shows.
Mhm.
They used to have those, but they were all radio. Like for uh, Lucy. Lucy had a show, and then there was like the like you talked about the Abbott and Costellos. They had they had shows and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so basically, KMBC and Diaz Media Group started putting feelers out to writers around the world to say, hey, we want to produce a show. And basically, the way that this is going to work is it's one episode a month. And it's a 1 hour episode, give or take, where it's a standalone show from start, medium. I'm sorry, start, begin, middle. Oh, good God, Mark. Beginning, middle, end. It's going to have the whole story. It's all inclusive. It's a one-off. You don't have to hear any content before or after. It's its own thing.
Own thing.
Yeah, and it is not world building. It's not like trying to do Marvel or anything like that. It's just one-off episodes, and so it's going to be one episode a month, going to drop. And so Tyrus is heading out, needs some meds. Tyrus did just have his wisdom teeth pulled.
Oh yeah.
And as I said, I don't know why he waited so long. It's not like he's been using them. So.
Well, like what the wisdom teeth are for, right?
That's where all the wisdom exists.
That's cute. No, I learned this in a paleontology class. So basically, if back in the day, during the like caveman times, the food was not as cooked or whatnot, and there would also be other stuff in it, so it would basically grind down your teeth. And so if your wisdom teeth didn't grow in, basically you would kind of starve and die. So we don't need them anymore because we don't, our teeth aren't grinding down the same way. But yeah, that's what it's from. If your wisdom teeth didn't grow in back in caveman-y times, you were probably gonna die. Ooh. Weird.
And here endeth useless knowledge by James. So going back to talking about Radio Story Hour, the big news is they're having auditions. And
come on.
And Radio Story Hour is holding auditions for voice actors coming up very soon.
Yeah.
In less than 2 weeks at this point, September 13th, 15th, 17th, and 18th. The 18th is reserved for callbacks. It's 3 new 1-hour stories. There's tons of characters, and we're going to talk about those. We're gonna do a little deep dive into the shows and whatnot. It's a comfortable recording environment because you get to record from home as long as you've got a microphone, headphones, and the ability to connect to the internet with.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's obviously a QR code that'll get you there, or you can go to the website radiosstoryhour.com/auditions, and we're
I
going to
also
go
I also have the post on my page too, so you can go there.
it's up on Fat and Black. It's
It's
up
also on Fat and
on
Black. It's on yeah, it's everywhere. I
yeah.
think
So
97 and Now posted about it too.
oh man,
Did you forget? Oh man.
yeah, don't do that.
Forgot. Yeah.
So if you head over to the web page, you're going to find this. So for those of you listening post show, I apologize. I'm going to do my best to describe as always. It's kind of a placeholder website. It's not beautiful. It's not amazing, but each of
Okay.
the three shows have their own unique graphics. The three shows or episodes, if you will. I don't know if these are in order of how they'll release. I'm not sure, but
In no particular order,
yes, we'll go with
except it's on the webpage.
pay in the web page order.
Yeah.
The first show is called Captain Fearless and the Time Traveling Nazis of Doom. And if you click into the page, you get a cast list. And let's just read through the cast of characters really quickly. Captain Fearless, all American 1940s superhero. Kando Mertert, loyal female Luxembourgian sidekick. Lincoln, a plucky, opinionated parrot. Baron von Brains, Nazi no good Nick.
Baron von Brains.
The Chiseler, FBI's 15th most wanted supervillain. Reuben Cross, Harmony Cove postmaster. Veronica Vanderloop, Captain Fearless's heartthrob. Ella Vanderloop, precious niece of Veronica. Thomas Jefferson, future president. Benjamin Franklin, famed kite flyer.
What?
John Hancock, document signer. Fergus Matert, Luxembourgian latte salesman.
Matert?
Mertert? I don't know. Maggie Mertert, Fergus's wife. Harry Chisler henchman. Diamond store clerk, Hessian guards, townspeople, and an announcer. So some good fun characters there. You can gauge by the cast list that obviously this is going to be a really old school serial kind of feel, probably somewhere in line, I would imagine, with the original Superman radio series, but a little bit more sci-fi comedic with some time traveling. Next up, we have from the Jack R. Abbott files, Murder by Garlic. And James, I think you can give us a little synopsis on this one because, well, I'll let you go ahead and say it.
Well, I will be taking the reins as director on this project. So basically, it's an old school mystery. A dude, our main character, J.R. Abbott, he moves from the Bay Area, Berkeley, to the French Quarter in New Orleans, to an apartment building that his aunt has left him. So there's a cast of characters in said building. I don't want to give too much away, of course. And then there's flashbacks back to Berkeley, things like that. So it's another murder mystery feel. So it'll be that kind of old school detective, those old school detective stories. So so I'm really looking forward to directing this. Let me just give you the rundown of the characters in this show. Mark, if you want to click on that, so the people can, if they can see it, can read along. We have J.R. Abbott. He's in his 50s. He's an eccentric, bumbling dreamer, unpublished mystery writer, and disguise aficionado. We have Munch, he is a retired football player and Jack's voice of reason and right-hand man. You have Nuke, who is that's a female, late 20s, mid 30s. That's what it says here. But she's the Sherlock Holmes type and an attorney. Goodness, can't talk tonight.
This is why you direct and don't voice act anymore. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not voice acting in this one. But Bonnie Brown, A special agent often comes into Jack's aid. Has big revolver. She calls Johnson. We have
Shites.
And that's Bonnie's partner. We have Reverend Weeks, the Reverend Weeks. That's an apartment resident, very, very religious. We have Amelia. I don't know that last name. Yeah, and that's the Garlic Goddess. We have Winston the Bulldog, and it's of course, a bulldog that farts a lot. That'll be fun. We have Clemson or Clemson's.
Clemens.
Oh, Clemens, my bad, whatever. It's a co-worker of Bonnie and super sensitive hearing. You have Gordo
and Guido.
Okay, and that's why I don't write this stuff. And he's a drunk. You got Jeremy. He's a wine sommelier at a restaurant, Los Osos.
And you did just skip 2 characters, Cecilia, an apartment resident, and Rodney Sherlin, who's also a detective.
I don't know how I missed that. Sorry. But then we have Hawaiian Man 1 and Hawaiian Man 2. They both thugs. And then we have an officer. I love how this says policeman. Like, okay. And then Sergeant Willie, who's also a policeman. And then the mayor. And he is apparently a Tabasco lover.
Well, you got to get down on that Tabasco once in a while, I suppose, right?
Gotta spice it up.
And that is Murder by Garlic. It sounds like it's going to be another fun one with a little bit of mystery, intrigue, and maybe a little bit of comedy.
A little bit of romance, probably.
Oh, a little bit of romance. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
And lastly, we've got Prince Kenneth in the Ill-Fated Forest. James, tell us a little.
Who's that directed by?
Well, we'll get there, but tell us a little synopsis on the show.
Basically, it's a prince. It's one of those kind of old medieval times type stories. Prince gets accused of a murder. Runs with his right hand man, like a knight. I guess it would be a knight in this case, but his right hand man. They run into a forest. They're chased by the lead knight from the kingdom that they're fleeing for the murder of a princess, and it's all a setup, type deal. They run into the forest. They don't know the way out. They stumble upon this old lady. She sends them to a village, and the village has been there for a long time. And,
is this a synopsis or is this the whole story?
No, I'm just trying. Basically, they just get into this village, and they're trying to get out of the forest, and things kind of go sideways.
So it's kind of a night story cross with Brigadoon, huh?
Yeah. You know what? That's a good way to put it. Yes. If you don't know
that's a synopsis.
If you don't know what Brigadoon is, it's a city that appears every 100 years and then disappears, and then the people wake up. They go to bed. They wake up. It's 100 years later. So
it's a fantastic musical. I've done it. Love it. I'd love to do it again. Yeah.
I guess it is a musical, huh?
Yes, it is a musical. It's Lerner and Lowe, I believe.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's look at the character list. And as we open that up, I will go ahead and share. I will be directing this one. So your boys here at the Fat and Black Connection getting to get a little bit more involved in some fun stuff. So let's take a look at the Prince Kenneth in the Ill-Fated Forest characters. So we've got Kenneth, mid-20s, Prince of Brahmanvale, heir to the throne, scholarly, quiet, trained with weapons, but not a great fighter, relies on his friend Gregory for protection. Known as a squire, James.
Oh, yeah, squire.
Gregory, also late 20s.
But it says here, knight.
Yeah, but he can still be a squire.
Oh, right.
Knight of Brahmanvale, best friend of and completely loyal to Kenneth, excellent fighter. Captain Marie, female, late 20s to early 30s, younger daughter of the King of Charelond, older sister to the dead princess, expert in swordplay. Old woman, ancient, made that's the age, ancient. Made a pact with the Forsytes to get rid of her bad luck, but was careless in the language of that pact, and instead cursed the forest and created the Tremorend. William, male, 40s to 50s, unofficial leader of the village of Fate's Fall, friendly to outsiders, doesn't want anyone else to die, so discourages the villagers from seeking the midnight path. Ooh. Then we've got Forsytes 1, 2, and 3, non-human forest spirits. Chamberlain Silas, male 50s, man in charge of the palace servants, efficient, knowledgeable, takes his job seriously. Clara, female, mid to late teens, chambermaid. That is all. Assassin, male, 30s, hired to kill Aliana. Frame Kenneth, and then kill Kenneth.
Wow.
Rosalia, or Rosilla, female, 60s, a village healer, a kindly grandmotherly. Yeah, that's what I said. Hiller.
You sounded like Hiller. I was like, what's a Hiller?
They heal. They're healers. A friendly grandmotherly woman. Alice, female, mid-20s, the village carpenter, friendly and cheerful. Interesting occupation. Lieutenant, male, 40s to 50s. Olivetta's right-hand man, responsible, loyal. Which is interesting because Olivetta is not in this cast list. Tremorend, a misfortunate monster, the personification of bad luck, created by the old woman, a wanton destroyer with a frightening roar, also known as Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
But the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man didn't roar.
I mean, he kind of made some noises. It was like,
not really.
I don't know. Anyways, that is those are the 3 shows for Radio Story Hour. The first round of auditions coming up September 13th, 15th, 17th. If you're interested, head on over to radiostoryhour.com/auditions. Or if you're looking at this live right now or after the fact, there is a QR code. You should be able to scan it. If not, head over to the Radio Story Hour Facebook page or the Fat and Black page or James's page or my page.
Yeah,
we've got this everywhere.
They're all posted everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah,
check it out. If you're a voice actor or if you've never even voice acted, but it sounds kind of interesting, give it a shot.
We take newbies too. If you good,
absolutely,
we got you.
Yeah, I would rather have somebody new that's never done it, that is eager and has a unique voice than work with somebody who's been doing it for a long time because they're harder to work with.
Sometimes.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and also we should say that directing the first one, the time traveling Nazis and everything, is actually going to be Catherine Hampton, who we've both worked with over at Heritage House as well as on.
It doesn't matter who's directing that one because it's not us. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Kathy.
Just kidding. Yes, Kathy. She's the director for that one. So.
All right, let's move on into our episode 3 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law review.
Boom.
So we going into this episode, we had 2 great episodes, very enjoyable, some cameos.
Oh yeah.
We had the setup obviously with the end of the episode where she decides she's going to take on this case for Abomination or Emil Blonsky, and. Oh, by the way, turn on the TV.
Turn on the TV, yeah.
He's escaped from prison to go fight in some underground brawl. And so now episode 3 revolves around that, very much so. But before we dive into Emil Blonsky's storyline, let's talk about a little bit the B story, if you will.
Oh, man. That dude.
And I'm specifically saying the B story because there was a moment where she breaks the 4th wall again and says, "Oh, tying the A and the B story together." I loved it because, that's that's something we in the business we talk about. There needs to generally be an A story, a B story, sometimes a C story.
I like at the beginning of or towards the beginning of the episode, she goes, "Hey, just so you know, this story isn't about these people and these people. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
But
we're not going to have cameos every single episode.
I
This
mean,
show is about me.
Yeah, except for Bruce and maybe this person. Oh, or maybe Wong. Maybe yeah. So I was like, yo,
An abomination.
Yeah. So I was like, that's great. That's great.
So we have this B story that is absolutely hilarious, where this past coworker of Jennifer Walters from the DA's office has come to this new agency that she works at to try and he's seeking money that he has spent on he's been catfished, if you will.
Yeah, the dude actually thought he was dating Megan the Stallion,
and it actually turns out he's dating was it a dark elf, a night elf?
She's an Asgardian. Yeah, she's from New Asgard.
Yes, she lives in New Asgard, but she is an elf that has the ability to change her form. and so he's been catfished into thinking he's dating Megan the Stallion, and has spent somewhere in the vicinity of $175,000 on this woman. And he's now found out the truth and wants his money back.
Yeah,
and it's a great B story.
It's so good, especially because she transforms herself into
multiple people.
The other lawyer here,
this is Pug,
the judge, in the courtroom. She just gets into a whole bunch of trouble, but it's fun. It's fun storyline.
Yeah, and ultimately in the storyline, he does end up winning his case thanks to Jennifer taking the stand to help him by basically making fun of him, to say that he is delusional enough to believe that he could be dating Megan the Stallion.
And then cut to Megan the Stallion in the courtroom.
Yes, and we had some fun moments with Megan the Stallion,
of course,
doing some dancing with Jennifer Walters later in the episode, post credits and whatnot. So another cameo, right?
Yep, just another cameo.
Yeah, it was great. I loved the B story very much. We also had a brief introduction to another lawyer working at the firm, who basically walked into the room and said, "Oh, no, I'm not doing your case." And,
well, no, because he was like, "I don't want a woman" or something like that, and she was like, "Well, I'm out."
and he specifically said, "I don't want a woman because I don't want you to fall in love with me and become my new fiance." But again, it was very much a throwaway. I mean, for those of you watching, you recognize this woman likely as one of the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton.
Should be around.
Yeah, and I know she's in the series more. It's just I guess I didn't feel the need to introduce for all of the 15 to 30 seconds she's there.
I think it was to show that dude was an absolute
tool.
Yeah, he's a toolbox.
Yes, indeed.
The complete thing.
Yes. Moving on to number 3, cherry hard seltzer.
Okay.
So, moving on in the episode, the A story, is revolving around Emil Blonsky, Abomination. Why are you clapping?
I don't know. I was hitting my knees. Sorry.
Yeah, we pick that up. We hear that. Thank you. So the A story revolves around Emil Blonsky and Jennifer Walters taking his case to help him get paroled. Except the difficulty of getting the parole in this episode is you broke out of prison. And we have this conversation where we find out he didn't break out of prison. He was forced out.
Yeah. By none other than Wong, Sorcerer Supreme.
I love the fact that Wong is played by Benedict Wong, by the way. It's just too good.
Oh, I never noticed that before.
You didn't know that the actor's name is Benedict Wong?
No. That's funny. That's hilarious, actually.
Okay. So Wong, who is the Sorcerer Supreme, Jennifer and her paralegal reach out, connect to Wong and get him to show up. and he does confirm that yes, indeed, he actually more or less kidnapped
Yeah.
Emil Blonsky out of his cell and forced him to fight him because he needed to be able. He needed a worthy opponent to prove himself as the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, and then he had the chance to be freed, and he went back. So, he was like, "Oh, well, in that case, hey, I'll put you back in your cell."
Yeah, and we have some really fun back and forth with Jennifer and Wong where he's like, "Oh, well, we can send him to the mirror dimension." And then he just starts listing off all these other dimensions that he can send him to.
Yeah,
She's like, "No, no, 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 no." Because he starts off by saying, "I'm not going to erase everyone's memory. We already did that." And
yeah,
which
that's
obviously is a tie.
to
Um,
Spider-Man.
yeah. And so, again, a lot of fun. Again, a cameo. Wong ends up coming to the trial. It's not really,
And
well, it's
then
not really a
before he gets in trouble, he's like, "I gotta go."
I gotta go. Mr. Wong, you understand it's just Wong. You understand that you've aided and abetted the escape of a prisoner, and that's a criminal offense.
Gotta
I'm
go.
out. Yeah, it was a great.
Oh man.
Again, this show is a true comedy. It is a real comedy. It's just a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I can't say enough about this series already.
I
I
don't.
very much.
But my thing is, I don't understand. Again, why is the show getting so much hate? The
I'm
show
not
is getting
seeing I'm not seeing the hate. You've said that, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it.
the
I
show.
don't.
I mean, like, it must be just some of the side websites that I'm finding on through Google when I open it up. Just some of these, like, there's so much hate for this show, and I don't understand it. Like, it is a good show. I think and a lot of the people complaining about it, dudes.
I mean, Miss Marvel was a female-based show. Were there a lot of dudes complaining about that one?
I saw a few complaints about it, but definitely not as many as this show.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't enjoy it purely because she's female, then get the hell out. Like,
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, it's She-Hulk.
you don't have to watch the show, but I guarantee you're gonna need this show.
Yeah, there's
This show is going to tie in to the story at large.
Yeah, and it's going to tie many things. I mean, we had a reference, and I kind of wanted to address this because I'm still a little confused. So we know that the story is taking place so far around the same time as Shang-Chi,
Right.
but I'm confused because at the end of Shang-Chi, we
Mhm.
have that moment where the rings are being analyzed and looked at by
Right.
Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner, who Bruce Banner still has his arm in the sling. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
So I'm
So
I'm
you know what it might be? So I think so there might be some so there might be that might have happened like, oh wait, no, because that happened. Okay, so maybe what okay, let me just spitballing here. So maybe what happened is that the fight with no, actually that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
That's where I'm concerned that Marvel may have created a
Unless
continuity error.
the only way I can see that being as an unless is if that story was recorded beforehand and just received by the news outlet that was revealing it. So maybe that was it, but that's the only thing I can think of to why there was this gap in this.
Well, yeah,
This
and I think they really need to address it because otherwise it really can create a continuity error.
Yeah, that's
Because
true. Because but and it wasn't even Smart Hulk at that point either, right?
that's my point. It was as Bruce
It
with
was
his
as
arm in
Bruce.
a sling.
Yeah, and he was healed because
Mhm.
of her DNA, which yeah. So I'm saying the only way that I think that can even hopefully they address that, but if they don't, the only thing that I can think of, like I said, the only thing I can think of is that happened, that already happened, and then that news outlet was just receiving that recording.
And that fine. You can retcon it, but they need to address it to fix that, I think. And one of the things we didn't talk about last week, I went back and I was re-listening. In the second episode, we didn't talk about really the fact that there was that phone call cameo with Bruce, except he was on a ship in outer space.
And that ship looked like that looked like the ship for whatchamacallits, the Guardians, didn't it?
No, it was a krill ship.
Oh, was it a krill ship?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Oh, so maybe he's involved in maybe Bruce
Secret Invasion.
AKA, yeah, he might be involved in Secret Invasion because we know that Nick Fury's on a krill ship.
Yeah. So I'm thinking something's going to happen there, but we didn't talk about it, and so I was right in our first episode review. I did call out. I was like, we're probably not going to see Bruce again. If we do, it's going to be brief, and it's probably going to be like a phone call. And I was exactly right. That's what it was. So I did want to give myself some credit there. No offense. But going back to what you were saying about people really needing to watch the show, because there's going to be stuff that kind of ties other things together. Another thing that came out of episode 2 was there was this weird conversation between Jennifer and Bruce about Captain America and his virginity.
Yeah.
And I posted this image on our page, and I'm going to bring it up here in a second. But ultimately, it's Bruce telling Jessica that Captain America lost his virginity to a girl in the U.S. that was on the USO tour in 1943.
Right.
And then someone created this image. I'm going to throw it up. It is so genius, and if it's true, I need Marvel to like confirm, like, because they talked about it, I feel like they have to address it. But here's the image. It's basically, Bruce saying he lost his virginity to a girl in 1943 on the USO tour. And then here's the girl that people are saying it must have been, this blonde girl, not Haley Atwell, not Captain Britain or, Agent Carter, if you will.
Yeah.
There was also a comment by James Gunn at some point that said, James Gunn confirms Star-Lord's grandmother met Captain America.
So we don't know if that's her or that's supposed to be his grandmother or whatnot, but
there is a distinct possibility that
Star-Lord
could be related
to your boy Cap.
Yeah, and Captain America could have a bastard child out there.
Oh, Cap, baby daddy.
So yeah, I love that image. Hat tip to marvelbreakers.com for putting that image out there. Thought it was great.
I gotta go back and watch Captain America because I don't remember that scene there.
I absolutely remember that scene. Yeah. So, James, anything else interesting or exciting going on out there in the land of Vegas for you?
No, not really, man. Just another week of trading to go.
Fun. And so that is your trainings are Monday through Friday. So we won't be doing our normal Wednesday episode again this next week. Is that correct?
Right.
So what does that mean for us? Does that mean that we're going to be doing a Saturday episode next week followed by a Wednesday episode, or what are we going to do?
Man, I think that might be it. That might be the case. I'm not. I gotta see kind of what. Oh, well, maybe because I know my training switches. This is so irritating. My training switches from nights back to days, and not just any days, early days. So back to hey, what's up, Brian?
Finally, our dam checks in. We got Brian.
But it'll be back to 4 a.m.
4 a.m. is your start time?
Yeah. So I've been going from 2:30 to 11. And then after that, I have to go to 4 a.m. I'm like, yo.
Okay, so your shift, so you're doing Monday through Friday this next week. So you'll get off of work at 11:30. At 11:30 or 11?
Like 11:30, yeah.
Oh, way to rub it in, Brian. Thank you. He's packing for Disneyland. Go to hell.
Whatever, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite, by the way.
Is this the one, the Star Wars thing he was talking about?
No, that's earlier in the year. He's going for D23, I assume.
Jerk. Anyways.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite. So back to you. So you're going to work until 11 on Friday,
right?
Correct. And then your next shift starts when?
On Monday.
Okay.
At 4 in the morning.
Okay, so you get 2+ days off, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, but it's just like, yo, you've already screwed up my sleep schedule. It's not been pleasant.
So you switch back, you go back to that other shift that you've been doing.
Yeah.
And then so you're back to your normal days off, which were what, Tuesday, Wednesday?
That apparently all depends on who my trainer is, because I will have my trainer's days off. Hopefully the trainer that I get will have Tuesday, Wednesday off as well, or Wednesday, Thursday off as well.
Okay, so in all reality, you're going to go back to work for 2 days and then have another 2 days off.
Possible.
When are you?
No. So okay. Sorry. Let me explain. So after we do this 2 weeks of training, then we go back to our original class setting, which will be for a week, and then we will go back to the airport to do our training at the airport.
Oh, so you still have another week of training?
Yeah, so I have a week of training, and so I basically have like 2 weeks of training left.
Oh, okay. So we are going to be doing, for sure, a show next Saturday.
Yes, for sure, next Saturday, and then possibly Wednesday. Actually, not possibly, probably Wednesday.
Okay.
So we can go back to our normal time.
Well, stay tuned to the Fat and Black Connection.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Because James's schedule just keeps throwing every linchpin and everything.
This should have already been done. Like this should have been. I should have already been done with training, or I should be in my on the job training right now because of our facility in Georgia closing down, that screwed up everything, because I was supposed to start.
So you're upset about this when really you could have started this job a month earlier if you would have had your act together.
Yeah, but that's also kind of not my fault, because I didn't.
No. It's entirely your fault.
I didn't have my birthday, and I thought,
which is your fault. It's not their fault.
Well, no, it's not their fault, but I didn't have a copy of that, so I finally got that. But
which, as a almost 40-year-old man, which I guess we should address this, folks. We hadn't yet. It is your boy James's birthday coming up in a mere 4 days.
Wednesday.
Turning 40.
Yep.
Old. You are old.
Yeah, it's happening.
You're not as old as our damn Brian or our other friend Tyrus.
Nope.
But
I'm right around the corner from them.
You are joining them in the 40s.
Yep. Welcome to the 40s.
How does that feel? People. How does that feel?
It's weird, bro. It's weird to say.
That reminds me. Did my gift arrive?
Yes, it did.
Did you open it?
Nope.
Good man. I would ask at this point, can you hold on until next week?
That's why I'm waiting, bro. Yeah, I didn't even bring it up to my room. I left it downstairs.
All right. So on our next episode, I want you to open it on the show, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I guess.
And we've got Rabbit Fido checking in, also known as Angel. Yes, we are still up doing this show.
But we're about to end it, though.
Yes, we are winding it down. We've been going for an hour 20. Unless somebody has an interesting topic that they want us to talk about.
I hope you don't, because I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh. I guess there goes that idea. So, yeah. I mean, and part of that is because you're 40. I mean, we've only been going for an hour 20, and you got to go to the bathroom. So
I had 2 beers in that time.
I'm on my 3rd seltzer.
Yeah, but you went to the bathroom pre-show, right? I haven't gone to the bathroom for.
Why wouldn't you go to the bathroom before the show?
Because I didn't have to go.
I mean, you go, you make it, like you like squeeze, like you force it out.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure that's good for you in some sort of
I'm
way.
sorry,
But
hold on. You do theater. You are a supposed actor. Like, do you ever not go before a show just because? Oh, I don't really need to go.
there's been a couple shows where I didn't have to go, so I didn't go. But I would wait, and I could wait. I'd wait till I'd go in between scenes if I needed to, unless I had to be like right back out on stage. But I would, if I had to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, okay, hold it for a minute, and then, we'll take care of that right after.
As Brian confirms, as an old man himself, rules of old age: always grab a pee when you can. And as my wife is asking, you've got a bottle. I mean, you just said you finished drinking 2 beers, so you got empty bottles.
That's gross. But I expect nothing else from your wife at this point.
I love the fact that she's actually watching and engaged, because it's not often that
No,
we
not
actually get
often
her.
at all.
It's not often that she graces us with her presence.
Yes.
So
Thank you,
you.
Almighty.
Thank you. And Angel, it sounds like he would like for you to pee in the bottle right now on the
Nope,
show.
not gonna happen. I will leave before that happens.
I mean,
Nope, not gonna happen. Shut it down. Shut it down. You shut this down right now.
Do you have to go that bad? Is it because we're talking about it that it's making it worse?
Yes.
Oh.
You shut this down right now.
Well, okay. I guess, ladies and gentlemen, remember, and Jenny votes for the bottle as well. So her and Angel on the same page. Angel wants
I
to
hate
think
you.
of
I hate
waterfalls.
you. Bye. I gotta go. In the show. In the
okay,
show now.
I'm wrapping it up. Okay, so just as a reminder, we do have the rib cook-off tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at a VIP table. All you can eat ribs, all you can drink. Last minute, if anybody out there is interested, hit us up. Let us know. We do have, I think, 1 or 2 still open seats that are available. We can try and make something happen. Jefferson Starship is the main band. So I
old bands, I love it.
Yes,
boy.
No Uncle Cracker. It's Jefferson Starship, Running Rivers. So it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm out. I gotta go.
James, any last minute thoughts?
No. Have a good time, guys. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day. Enjoy that 3-day weekend for those of you that get it. And for those of you that don't, go get a government job.
Yeah. Bye.
For those of you still hanging around, James truly is gone. He has run to the restroom. So I just thought I'd do a little post content to share that information before I shut it down here. As you can see, he still has camera on, probably still has his mic on, but it is an empty room. So, oh, and he's back. Welcome back. That was very fast. Do you feel better?
Yeah, I do.
And we are still live. So
Oh, wow. Wow.
I came back and I was doing a little thanks for sticking around. Yes, James really did go to the bathroom.
I hate you so much right now. I'm out. I gotta go.
All right, let's end this thing.